Welcome back, everybody. Paul Lachmanic with Coldwell Banker. As you know from prior segments, I am a recovering real estate attorney. The first 14 years of my professional career, I was a real estate attorney, helping buyers and sellers negotiate their contracts moving between properties. I then switched to becoming a realtor 3 years ago, and as luck would have it, my friend Rachel here, she was one of the realtors that convinced me to transition to the side of the business. So thank you, Rachel.
You are so welcome. We're happy to have you here at Coldwell Banker.
Thank you. So in a prior segment, we discussed the necessary 9 steps to a real estate closing. Step 1, as we discussed previously, was the pre-approval letter. We're now past that point, and we're at the point where you need to find a competent, qualified realtor in the business. Joining me today, my friend, colleague, and managing broker, Rachel Scheid. Rachel, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. I finally get to be on one of these segments.
We saved the best for third. So, tell us a little bit about your professional career and how you ended up becoming a managing broker here at Coldwell Banker.
Sure. So, hello everybody. I actually started in real estate at the ripe age of 21 years old. I started as a licensed assistant and kind of moved my way up through the ranks from there, being on a team, being solo assistant manager, and at 28 years old, I got asked to manage our West Loop office for Coldwell Banker Realty.
Congratulations.
Where you joined like a year later.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's been such a pleasure to be in the business. Essentially, my only real adult career has been in real estate. You learn a lot, even though it's only been 9 years. And being in the management seat is so interesting because you come across all the different complications of all of our realtors all put together. But at the core of everything is how do we offer our clients and our prospective clients the best level of customer service we can.
And that's a great segment into today's topic, and that is the qualified, competent realtor in your area. With all the third-party sites and information out there, and it being 2021, we're a very tech-savvy generation. Why even engage a realtor in the first place?
It's a great question, and believe it or not, one that I hear all the time and I see through Facebook comments as well. I look at real estate agents as partnering with buyers and sellers through the transaction process. True, Miss Google is our friend and we can get a lot of answers, but there's not a lot of explanation about those answers. There's not guidance. Anybody can read an article, but are you understanding what that article means for you as a buyer? Anyone can Google stats and see what your listing might be worth, but is anyone explaining to you what market time being up by 52% in your area really means for you as a potential seller? So I coach a lot of our agents on really being a partnership, not a hierarchy with your client, because a lot of clients feel like they don't necessarily need us, that we're door openers. But we have so much more to offer than that. Our value proposition really lies in our responsibility to be fiduciaries for our clients, meaning we are here to guide you, give you advice, help discern different things from emails, and really be that resource. We're sort of like the coach to your team, and then we hire all the players for it, right? We help you hire the players. We help you identify the attorney and the loan officer and the inspector and the electrician if need be. But we're really your point person leading you through a very seamless transaction.
Sure, thank you. So the typical first-time home buyer in Chicago generally navigates towards a condominium. How does your process and your role change with that prospective purchaser when they're looking at a condominium?
Sure. So condos introduce a whole different set, I should say additional set of things that realtors need to help make their buyer clients aware of. First and foremost is you're also buying shared space in a condo, right? You're sharing a roof with maybe 30 other units. You're sharing a basement. You're sharing common areas. So with that often comes what we call the condo docs. So things like our rules and regulations. Are pets allowed? Believe it or not, that might not be an independent owner decision. That's something that the building decides as a whole. What are in the building reserves? So when you own a single family and you need roof maintenance, you as the only owner of that property are solely responsible for the roof maintenance. In a condo building, when the roof needs maintenance, all of the units are responsible for helping to pay that off. Most often, you're going to want to make sure that a healthy building has healthy reserves, meaning a savings account, so that when things happen in the building, you've got that protection. So your realtor is really there to help make sure that the building is well run, that the condo docs are in order, that it's got a healthy amount of reserves, that the building is something you would want to be a part of.
Sure, and one thing we try to stay away from on our side is surprises with our clients post-closing, and by not asking these questions of the listing agent or the board up front, the reserves, pet policy, rental policy, and all of a sudden you move in and you realize your dog can't live there. Congratulations, welcome to the building. Here's your $5,000 special assessment due in a couple weeks. So yeah, we try to stay away from those surprises. Once the client has engaged us, what is our role? What value do we add and what do we bring beyond these third-party sites?
Great. So one of the key things that I always coach all my agents on is actually signing an exclusive buyer rep agreement with the clients, because that is your agreement agent to client and really puts forward exactly what your agent's duties are, what they can and what they can't do, right? Particularly where fair housing is concerned. But then it also educates you as what to expect, and you know that you have retained Paul as your exclusive agent. What that means to us as realtors is this client is trusting me to help identify the right property based on their wants and needs that they've told me. They're trusting me to advocate on their behalf throughout the process. A big part of that is, yes, identifying properties. And listen, we've all got the Zillow app. We've all got these third-party apps. And when you're on break from work or underneath your desk scrolling properties, that's awesome. Your job is to send those immediately to Paul or your respective agent. And his job is to secure showings for that property. And while you're showing the property, his job is to ask the listing agent some of those same questions that we were talking about before. Or if it's a single family home, what is the age of the roof? What are the age of the mechanicals? While you're busy looking at the living room trying to figure out if your couch is going to fit there, your agent should be busy identifying what potential areas that you might need to negotiate heavier for in that property. Then once you go under contract, that's really also where the real estate agent guides you through the process. A lot of negotiating comes in as well, and all of our agents do get trained up on negotiating over here at Coldwell Banker.
Great. So we've found a property the client likes, we've tendered an offer, it's been accepted. Now we have a fully accepted contract. What happens next?
So you're going to want to rely on your real estate agent to refer you out a qualified inspector. I emphasize qualified because yes, there are a lot of inspectors out there. You can just Google Chicago inspectors, house inspectors, and you'll probably find a lot. When I was selling, I really liked my clients to work with the people I referred them because I had used them with previous clients. I understood their work ethic, and they work for their clients the same way I work for mine, and that's what's really important. But a qualified home inspection is so important once you've gone under contract. Their job is to go through and identify things that maybe we could not have seen during a showing. For example, during a showing, Paul's probably not going to climb on top of the roof and take a look at it because that's not his job and that's a huge liability. But an inspector has an extra level of insurance and training to do that. They're also going to take the panel off of the electric panel and take a look at the wiring. That's something that your realtor isn't capable or prepared to do, but the inspector is. So they're there to identify health and safety risks and anything that's not performing to its intended usage. And if they find something during that inspection, it's up to your realtor and your real estate attorney to talk with you about the pros and cons of either asking the seller to take care of that, meaning fix it, maybe offer a credit, or maybe it's not such a big deal and you can move forward without asking for anything to be done. But that's really why you rely on your realtor and your real estate attorney through that inspection period.
Yeah, we generally recommend our clients attend the inspection with us. That way they can ask questions, and again, to Rachel's point, find out, is this really that big of a deal? Is this something we can take care of ourselves, a little elbow grease post-closing? Most of the time you're not buying a new construction home, so with a resale, you have to expect normal wear and tear together with the transaction.
Exactly, yeah.
So now, we're under contract, we've moved through the inspection phase, we have an attorney who's negotiated the attorney review period. The lender tells us, congratulations, your loan is clear to close, go ahead and schedule the closing. What do we do next?
So the seller's attorney actually works with the seller to decide the title company. And then basically what your realtor is going to do is set up a final walkthrough for you right before closing, right before keys are changed over hands and it becomes officially yours as a buyer. You always want to walk through the property one last time because you never know what could happen. I've actually done final walkthroughs where you find out the seller has left probably 10 pounds of garbage in the property that then needs to either have the seller remove before closing or you get a credit for. I've had perfectly wonderful walkthroughs where everything works great, everything's clean, all the lights work, it's beautiful. You just don't know until you do that walkthrough. And you do not want to walk through after the closing and find out something was wrong because once it's yours, it's yours. And it's very hard to get the seller to come back after that.
Now, what type of issues could arise during the pre-closing walkthrough that you need to bring either to the title company or attorney's attention?
Some of the biggest things that I tend to see are busted walls, maybe from movers, a little wear and tear, guys, not a big deal. But if someone rammed a piece of furniture in the wall, right, and the part of the drywall is crumbling, that definitely needs to be addressed. The seller leaving behind too many items in the home that weren't previously agreed upon, that's something I see quite frequently. So it's always a good idea to walk through, always check the fridges, especially sellers out there. You'll forget something, I promise you. But most of the time it's pretty standard on that. If you have a solid listing agent, they're gonna make sure to guide their seller through removing everything properly and carefully from the property.
Any final tips or best practices for our clients?
So I always say that again, because it's a partnership relationship, you really do want to have that mutual loyalty and respect. And also, frankly, in this time, you're going to be spending so much time with your realtor, you kind of want to like them a little bit too. So make sure that you work with a realtor that you do feel that connection with, that you feel they are loyal to you, that you can be honest with them, because there is nothing worse than kind of hiding some things that you might feel. Your realtor is there to hear everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. They want to really know if you love that property or not, right? They're not here to try and help you buy something that you're going to hate 2 seconds after you're in it. So that's my best advice.
Thank you, Rachel. Paul Lachmanic, Coldwell Banker, thank you once again. We'll provide Rachel's contact information as well as mine. Any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Have a great day and happy hunting.
Bye.